Alright, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another game of Super Rugby Pacific. This one, the Hurricanes versus Moana Pasifika. Now, they've actually just set a stat before this game got underway, and that is that the only New Zealand side to have lost to Moana Pasifika at this stage since the club's inaugural game is actually the Hurricanes. So that's a little bit of something extra to look for in this contest, but it is already going to be a very fantastic game. The Hurricanes, they want their top spot back. They lost it last week when they faced the Blues. Moana Pasifika, if they get themselves the upset win here, they will be in the top 8. The question mark is for how long. Looking through at the starting lineup. First of all, for the Hurricanes in this game, they have got Pori Rakiti Stones, Tupu Tupu at 2, and then Luake as the number 3, whose name I think I just butchered a little bit. Justin Sangster and Ben Grant will be the lock and joy with Brad Shields, Duplessis Karifi, and also Devon Flanders there as the number 8. Richard Judd and Aidan Morgan, they have gone with as the 9-10 combo. That is meaning no TJ Perenara, and also there will be no Brett Cameron. Peter Umanga Jensen and Balin Sullivan in the midfield. Kini Naholo, Daniel Sinkinson, who's only really had a couple opportunities this year, one of which was up against the Rebels, where he did do very decently, and same can be said about this man at 15. And Harry Godfrey. Looking at Moana Pasifika's starting lineup, Abraham Pule in the front row alongside Sam Mole and Sione Mafaleo up against his old side. And the Hurricanes, Tom Savage and Alan Craig offering that stability in the locking duo. They've done very well throughout the season for Moana Pasifika. Jacob Norris, Sione Havili Talatui and Lotua Nisi, who is very dangerous off the back. Him versus Devon Flanders. I think it's going to be a very entertaining one. Jonathan Tamatene with William Havili as the 19 combo. Tamatene also up against his old side here. Then Julian Savia up against his old side. And the Hurricanes, him versus TJ Perenara at the moment is the try-scoring, competition overall for all-time try-scorer in the comp. Henry Taifu at 13, Naria Famai, Finian Nisi, and Danny Tuala. A little bit of Moana Pasifika flair in the back 3. We have got, hello, I do have bad news, says Pads Blaze. So hopefully it's not too bad in that regard, Pads Blaze. Is it to do with your injuries, maybe? Hurricanes first try, let's go, says Bavani. And good evening, Hamish from Durban. Ready for some good commentary. Good morning, Ruth in Cape Town, says Brian. And of course, we are going to have some rugby taking place in South Africa over the weekend for the URC. We are covering those games as well as a few of the others. Doc Daz said, hi guys and girls, go the Canes. And Hurricanes first try, let's go. Do let me know your score predictions for this game, ladies and gents. There is a chance that it is once again going to end up being quite a high-scoring game. It always is. Did you know you featured in the latest 2 Cents Gets Distractors podcast? I know I was featured in the one prior to that. I don't know about the most recent one. When did it go up, Novmum? I haven't actually been on YouTube in about 3 days. That's probably my bad, but I'm sure I have to give it a look afterwards. I assume it was on Mark's channel rather than Tony's. I know I saw the Tony one that I was mentioned near the end about having the cold. The Canes in yellow, they certainly are wearing that bright yellow kit. Currently their form, the last 3 weeks, has been loss, win, loss. Now, they want to get back on the right track here and get themselves a big win. Canes 45, says Brian. It's on YouTube, says Gareth. Cheers, Gareth. That's very handy. And felt like I had to stop by the events to get here, Hammy. And let's go, says Mr. All-In. And here, tears at Mr. All-In in there as well. Moana 15. Oh, okay, so Danny Tuala as the first try scorer in this contest. They are just showing Duplessis Karifi. Of course, he has been looking to have a really accurate season, currently sitting with 100 tackles made. So I went to my physio today. It turns out I've ruptured, torn a tendon in my thumb. Also, I wear a brace to make my thumb level again because it's twisted a bit. That does not sound like a speedy recovery, Padza. So hopefully everything is going to be all right in the long run. They are just showing James Dolman will be the referee in charge of this contest. Hello, Hamish Bros, says Michelle. Welcome in, mate. They are just once again showing Brad Shields. He was right in the ear of the referee last week. Cut it off easier, says Fluffy. Yeah, but you might need it later on. You know, so you gotta rest and recover it. Hopefully it works out. They are just showing the big man there, Tom Savage, who is a bit of a savage, pardon the pun, when he's out there on the fark, I almost, wait, that's quite close to another word. The park, but I kind of combine field and park. It sounds close to another word. We have got there a few days ago, it was a clip of you telling Tony, when that's gonna kill you. Yes, that one. Lovely. He mentioned it might go in, and I guess it did, but the Hurricanes in position at the moment. Judd back to Aidan Morgan. Kicking it downfield. It's going to be an awkward bouncing one. Normally you don't see them bounce at the back. Kicked high from Denny Tuala. Now Morgan. Looking for the kick in behind. The Refa is there to retreat. William Havili. We're going to have a bit of force back for the start of this contest by the looks of it. Hopefully it doesn't go for too long. Tony said you were talking about his peanut. Yeah, well, it came up. The conversation, and by the sounds of it, also his appendage. Tactical and slow, need to match it. They have decided to take a quick throw there by the looks of it, Moana Pasifika, so they have still got possession. Tom Savage now running straight. I believe that was the big man Ben Grant who ran straight into the shoulder of one of the Moana Pasifika players on his way past. They will now kick it downfield for a bit of territory. Aidan Morgan. In fact, it's going to be Harry Godfrey now to Morgan, who will go for the kick again. Seems like, William Havili's hands have let him down. And that is now going to be the scrum feed for the Hurricanes. That is exactly what they were after. Try and kick it back and forth, wait for the mistake to take place, and then be able to make the most of it. But just fumbled it there. Tony could replace it with Pat's thumb. I don't know what to say there. And finally got my old school Canes jacket repaired. Ripped it from being too aesthetic, cheering on from the farm. And Taihepi. I think it's Taihepi? Whereabouts is Taihepi? Anyway, do let me know. I apologise if I've mispronounced your name or the place you are from. I've heard of Taihepi, but I don't know if that's the same thing. And hey, Amish bro, New Zealand rugby team, Sam Cane steps down as New Zealand rugby team. Yeah, he made the big call that after this season, he no longer wants the opportunity in that All Blacks kit. And to be fair, it's probably the right decision. He's going to make a lot more money in Japan. Like I said on the podcast as well, he gets no credit for anything that he's done because everyone always badmouths him. But he's had some good moments in that All Blacks jersey and deserves a bit of money going his way. And I'm back in the cane, says D's. Now Richard Judd. About to put this one into the scrum. I think I've read your one, Gareth. I just haven't read it out. Richard Judd going across to Peter Umanga Jensen. Central North Island south of Waiauru. Do I know Waiauru? Gumboot City? And go the Canes. I'm going to have to look at a map after the stream, I think, and work out exactly where it is. He's never going to be the captain anyway. Yeah, he wasn't going to be the captain. And this one, I still feel like Razor might have considered him as an option as a bit of an experienced head. That is a big shot coming in on Duplessis Karifi, but the ball is still there for the Hurricanes. They haven't really gone anywhere in the last 5 or so phases, but here comes Sinkinson with a little grabber in behind. Sits up for Danny Tuala. And that was actually Pipisana Pata Filot, another ex-Hurricanes player. There's plenty of them out there on the park for Moana Pasifika. And Grant, I've seen yours too. Welcome in, Grant. Hope you're doing well. Oh, charge down. And that one's going to go into the hands of Finianisi. Going to be a tricky one at the moment. In terms of whether or not they will be able to get their way out of the 22. If you weren't for your gumboots, where would you be? Japan. Says Fluffy. We actually had to do a school play to that song. I don't want to talk about what I had to wear for it, though. Other than gumboots, I'll tell you that much. But the rest of it was pretty rough. It was primary school, though. So, 98-0 for Moana Pasifika. That seems like a very entertaining game. And tell you what, they're in with half a shot here. Because Julian Savia has just dove on that ball and has managed to get the turnover. Now going up to the short side, Naria Famai. And Canes by a lot, says Daniel Cox. And the Canes 46-25, says D's. Die happy, or live happy, die happy over the gentle any two Hawks base, says Moa Hunters. Now running it for Danny Tuala. These two sides have matched each other very well for 5 minutes. Like, we haven't really seen running meters per se, like a couple meters here and there. That would be the upset of the century. Yeah, I think so. And tell you what, they're in with a great shot to score their first try. Moana Pasifika going to be tackled in the midfield. I think it was the late change of Henry Taifu. So I meant that Finianisi still out there on the field. I think Anzelo Tuatavuki is not in the lineup. I think the only change was Henry Taifu, if I'm correct. And that might have been for Moana Pasifika. Now back across, big run forward from Lotuanisi. Wasting numbers on the counter, says Mr. Orlin. Looking for the turnover there for the Hurricanes. Wasn't quite able to do it there for Daniel Sinkinson. Tamatini going across. That was close to a handling error for Tom Savage. Regather before he's tackled by Flanders. Now Anisi, 25 metres out from the line at the moment for Moana Pasifika. They're 6 minutes into this game, and it's looked very even. Like I mentioned earlier on, neither side really making a huge amount of metres in their process. Up to 9 phases now for Moana Pasifika. Still 25 out. Going short side here. Tamatine looping around play for William Havili. As Rotalis, new captain of New Zealand rugby team. Some take right decision after Sam Cane stepped down as captain. You're probably looking at either Scott Barrett or Artie Savi are the two obvious ones. There are a couple other options that they may look at as well. Maybe co-captaincy could be on the cards, but I think more than likely they'll have a main captain. I do think it will probably be Artie Savia if he's available. Now kick downfield, William Havili. It's it down to Aidan Morgan. The Hurricanes have done well to just ride out their early wave of pressure coming from Moana Pasifika, and he has now kicked it back downfield. Ball bounces awkwardly. Danny Tuala still struggling a little bit. Extra pressure, but still plenty of time to be able to kick it into touch, and does just that. Test match kind of feel. The comment from Justin Marshall. We're talking expert commentary. That is what they always introduce him as. His expert commentary after Nisbet said, "What did you think, Justin?" He said, "Wow." Which I think is a great way of summarising what has happened. We've had 7 minutes of non-stoppages. Like, we've had one scrum, and that's it. And other than that, it's just been two sides throwing bodies at each other and trying to break their way through, but haven't been too successful as of yet. Nice run forward from Justin Sangster after line out as one. From the Hurricanes, Morgan goes back across to Pori Rakiti Stones, considered the offload. Just trying to get a few phases together now for the Hurricanes. Kanina Holo taken down low by Sam Molly. Asking for the penalty there, Sione Havili Talatui. There's no test match, says Mr. Orlin. But in terms of the territory battle is what I was referring to. Get Mum on the stream. She was on the last one, fun fact. I can't remember if you were there for it or not. But yeah, she did pop on for that last live stream. The New Zealand under-20s. If it's now I can't get the game, says a Nov Mum. Talking about thumbs, Scott Barrett. Great transition. But 40 metres out now. Going to the right-hand side here, Richard Judd. Ooh, big shot. Another offload, though. Keeping it alive after Luakai hits the ball up. Across Judd. Goes to Morgan. Umunga Jensen has 3 men with him. Can't get the offload. And Moana has had more possession, says Mr. Orlin. They have. To 12 phases at the moment now. So the Hurricanes have now reached the most phases in a row in this contest. And now it is back also watching the women's game, says no mum. Because Canada are playing Australia, aren't they? If I'm correct, which I may not be. I know Judd personally, says Daniel Cox. And lol, says Fluffy in there as well. But now Aidan Morgan going to be kicking this one towards the touchline. Geez, he's got a bit of that. Got a lot of that. That's going to be about 5 metres out. No, USA. Sorry, did I say cat? No. I said Australia, Canada, didn't I? Australia, USA, that was what's taking place. New Zealand playing Canada, aren't they? Or have they already played? I am confused. Now visit to the opposition 22 now for the Hurricanes. 10 metres out from the line and 10 minutes into this contest. While the Roos playing, let's string that rather, says Gareth. Now rolling maul chance here. Tupu hanging on to it at the back as the rolling maul has stopped. But now it's starting to move again. Oh my, that's wide open for Tupu who slams the ball down. He's celebrating big time. He's ripped the headgear off. He's going to have to put that back on, or at least he had the strap in around the head. First start, and he's got the try. He'll take it. At the end of the day, he has been questioned about whether or not he is up to the quality of the other hookers in the competition. A lot of people didn't even know who he was up until we saw James O'Reilly, Asafa Moa, both get injured. It gave Tupu the opportunity, and he has gone straight through the middle. No one wanted to tackle the bloke, which is fair enough because he's a unit. And they've just gone through, and Tupu has scored the first try of the contest for the Hurricanes. He slams the ball down, rips his strapping off his head. I think it was either too tight, or he just decided now that he's got it, he's going to rip it off. Like they're saying, Justin Sangster, very handy in that maul to be able to help keep it momentum rolling forward. Aidan Morgan to line up another kick here. Oh, it's fallen off the tee. That's happening more and more. Someone needs to build a little bit of a grippier tee. I know Dan Carter was involved in making tees at one point. Maybe they need to get DC back in. Now Morgan to line up. Now he shanked it. That's what happens when the ball falls off. 9 times out of 10, when the ball's gone down, the players seem to straight to the side, and it seems to go completely wrong for them. A great drive for the line. Slamming that ball down, Tupu. Yeah, just decided to rip the strapping off his head, as you do when you're excited. 5-0 now for the Hurricanes, though. That could be, I would say, the first of many tries that we see throughout this game. It's going to be a little bit overcooked from Moana Pasifika, but it's actually worked out in the end. Or has it? No, referee says it's gone out. Or it was a knock-on, in fact. Double knock-on. How's the crowd looking numbers? Hate seeing empty seats. It's always tricky at Sky Stadium because you are going to have a lot of area that isn't filled, but yeah, there's a lot. I was hoping that they were going to show us the section that has a lot of, people, but they didn't. They showed us the whole section that is empty. But if the Hurricanes have a final, maybe we'll get a few more people to the game, hopefully. Got to make dinner. Says Fluffy, enjoy. And maybe these tees are DC design, proving he is human. Maybe. When the ball goes down, the player goes to the side. As player describe. I don't know why I said as player describing. Yep. You've got me speechless. You've broken me again, Grant. You guys are getting good at that. The WWWRFU group. And also we've got the Hamish. You're back looking awesome again. Hurricanes blowing up the Storm. Says Ruth. I know Justin too. Says Daniel Cox. Now Denny Tawala going to be running this ball forward just out of his 22. And nicely taken at the back from Harry Godfrey. Need to have breakfast soon. How's the weather in New Zealand? It's not too bad here. That's gone out on the full from Harry Godfrey, and that is not what he would have wanted there. In fact, it was Aidan Morgan, my apologies. Inaugural Rugby Championship Under-20 Rugby League is starting this July in South Africa. Argentina Under-20 participates this tournament. Wait, the Rugby Championship Under-20, well, they've actually already had it for show, if it's the same one that we're talking about. Oh, actually, no, it's the, what's it called? It's got other teams in it as well, but it's like an Under-20s championship rather than the Rugby Championship, if that makes sense. There's like a few other sides. I'm going to go to the Chiefs vs the Hurricanes next week. What a game that will be. Hopefully it does really deliver like the other games that we've seen recently when it's been New Zealand versus New Zealand. Nice pass on the outside from Devon Flanders. Kanina Holo now kicks it downfield. Now going to be inside of the 22. Awkward bouncing ball for Havili, and he's wrestled out by Kini Naholo, who almost wanted to go quickly. How are you? Hi Hampson, how you doing? Says Simran, I'm doing very well. Currently excited about the rugby, not in the way that Grant was saying earlier on, but yes, some good games of rugby over this weekend. A lot of them. 8 in total, I believe we are covering on the channel, including 6 tomorrow. So that will be quite the workout for the throat. That doesn't sound right either, does it? Kini Naholo. Now, nicely tackled by Naria Famai. Hello, Rugby Rockets, enjoying Kiwi Lads commentary. And hi, Roof, hope you're doing well. I wish you were part of the WWWRFC. FC, is it? I thought it was FU. My bad. Now, Duplessis Karefi. Set up a little bit further. Robert is in the chat as well. Welcome in. Harry Godfrey. Getting wrestled backwards. And he's actually going to be in a rolling maul situation. 3 or 4 of the Moana Pasifika big forwards hanging on to him. Dolman says that's going to be their scrum. Great work in the breakdown from Moana Pasifika. I'm kind of excited. Are we talking about? Of course, the rugby. Always the rugby. Always the rugby. I got a Freaky Friday day off, Simran, says Roof, and also the waving from Robert. Welcome in. Oh, why did I say welcome in again? I said welcome in just before, didn't I? How do I watch the game on YouTube? Sadly, they don't have it on YouTube. The only real option for us here in New Zealand is Sky. Australia Stan Sports, but the highlights are up on YouTube, just not the live game. Not a union yet. Too fast on that 9, says Mr. Allin. Now scrum feed again for Moana Pasifika, who find themselves just inside of their own 22. Yeah, Roof, we love a day off. Ooh, front row's going down. Reset coming again here. Should mention that both of these sides actually coming off a loss. You don't see that too often. Oh my. Whose eye is that? I think Sam Molly's eye is all red through here, which I almost poked myself in the eye trying to just show it. But it didn't look nice. It looked like his eye was really bloodshot and maybe, what's it called? When you have your cornea abrasion? That's just a load of made up medical terms. I think that's a real thing though, a cornea abrasion. It sounds painful. I don't think that's what he has. That's a great scrum from Moana Pasifika, and they get themselves a scrum. Now, that is up against a scrum of the Hurricanes that normally get themselves penalties, although different front row than they normally have. You got Hamish speechless. I thought I was the only one, says Roof there. Pink eye. No, not quite pink eye. Well, yeah, it's close to it in terms of, well, it's pink. That's a start, isn't it? Yeah, it does not look good. I know Sky Live on the farm, hence why these streams are live. And we do appreciate you popping in, no matter where you are from in the world. Scratched eyeball, kind of. It's like red all around the white here. And then like a little bit of red halfway across the eyeball as well. Or the cornea. The iris. I dissected an eyeball in science. I should have paid more attention. I think I was too busy watching all the girls. That sounds dodgy. I was also, but because they were all throwing up. And that was quite funny to watch, actually. And yeah, it was an entertaining science class. Man, I'm getting my words messed up today, aren't I? And I am shooting in from Vanuatu, says Greg Barrett. Welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing well. Nice tackle, mate, on Aidan Morgan. Now going to the right-hand side. Richard Judd in behind. Finds Harry Godfrey across to Peter Umaga Jensen. A little bit of a juggle from Balin Sullivan, but now gets it on the outside to Sinkinson. Sounded like it was becoming a horse race there for a second. But 30 metres out. Judd goes back across. Nice offload to big man Ben Grant. Ball on the inside. And this time it's going to be Siali Luakai who scores the try. You never know what goes down in the rucks, says Josh. But 20 minutes in, Siali Luakai, red eyes, Jamet's blood vessels are bleeding inside the eye, says Ruth. We've got 2 men getting their first starts, I believe, of the season who have already scored a try. Now, in terms of when it's the most important for you to step up, these type of games are those ones because there will be injuries. throughout the rest of the season. We've only got a couple more rounds, so they'll be a little bit unlucky to get knocked out or end up with some sort of, injury of some sort. But, it's when these players are stepping up, that's when you want to see, as a coach, options and a little bit of depth, and that seems like something that the Hurricanes are starting to find, although they are up against Moana Pasifika, who have been struggling a little bit. Oh, we have got the Umanga. Is he related to Tana? So Umanga Jensen, maybe, distantly. I know that Jacob Umanga is related, man who does play for Benetton in the URC. It's not like the finals will depend on these guys, or I don't know if not, the finals will depend on these guys. Do you do this channel full time? Kind of. Like, it's full time, but it's not, if that makes sense. It's full time for the amount of time that it takes, but it's like, it's not full time in terms of the money that is made off the channel, which we have always said, like, any money made off the channel goes straight back into the channel, so I work as a builder during the week. But luckily, I got the day off today. We got some curtains, which will be quite nice to put them up at some stage. Exciting times. 21 minutes in, though, and it is currently 12 points to 0 in favour of the Hurricanes. Kicked high from Richard Judd. I think every rugby playing Umanga is related to Tana in some way or another, isn't it? Just slight tie-ins. That's a good take from Richard Judd, and a lot of slapping coming from him and William Arvelli when they leapt up for that ball. Nah, something sounded a bit weird today in the commentary, I'll be honest. Balin Sullivan back across to Aidan Morgan, back to Pori Rakati Stones, Harry Godfrey. Little kick him behind from Judd, looking for open space. Tawala's there to claim it. He's inside of his 22. Oh, I think Kenny Naholo's kicked that ball in his charge down. That is something you don't see every day. Across to Daniel Sinkinson. He's gone through. He's got the man with him. Beautiful pass to Ben Grant. One more to Judd. And he scores it between the posts. That is great work from Sinkinson. And the reason I say that is it wasn't too long ago that man had an opportunity to score a try. He had a guy on the inside that was easy enough to be able to pass to, and he didn't take it. That was his last game that he played in. Now, he's gone down the field the way that he has here, found that next pass on the inside, and then Ben Grant even decided to go one more pass to give Judd the finish. Great work from Sinkinson. Hamish for OnlyFans make some money. I wish. And I've been quiet because I'm playing FIFA, FC 24, losing 1-0 to Spurs, playing as Man United. I actually downloaded that game yesterday, fun fact. Me and Dad started our manager career mode last night. We got to play a couple games. It went all right, but also at the same time, I'm slightly worried we're going to get beaten when we get up the ranks a bit. And I give you lads, evening to you, everyone. But late traffic's a mess. Says Spider Mech, are they shower curtains or lounge curtains, Hamish? They are lounge curtains. So they'll be going up on the windows. Justin Hamish's underwear model in his spare time. Sure, I'll take it. But no, sadly. Harry Godfrey sounds very posh. Here goes the Hurricanes, boom, but they are now 19-0 up. This game is going as anticipated. The first 10 minutes was close. Oh, that's knocked on from Sangster. Savia, ball on the outside to Nerea for Mati. And now chance for Moana Pasifika to be able to fire straight back here. Short ball. Over it. That's really good work from the Hurricanes player, I thought. He's asking how he hasn't got the penalty. I'm not sure how he didn't get the penalty there. I assume he had his hand down. I think it was Duplessis Karefi. Got a big smile on his face because he thinks he got the turnover. They are playing under penalty advantage at the moment for Moana Pasifika. They've dropped that ball though, so they will go back for the original penalty. Got options here, says James Dolman. Are they going to go for touch or a scrum? One of those two. Lotto and Nisi is a handy option off the back. So I would highly recommend giving him a crack. Hamish is as a flesh-coloured underwear model. He cosplays as a Ken doll. I think Ken's tan though, isn't he? Like, I feel like I'm not as tanned as Ken. So I feel like that wouldn't really... I'm also not as muscular. Okay, first movement is chest to body. The second try was great. I'm slightly behind. Says Stuart, yeah, it was a very good try. Right, they're going to kick this one for the corner, Moana Pasifika. They're going to test out that eye of Sam Molly and see if he can get it straight. I was meant to go to this game. What made you change your mind in the end? Was it... I don't think it would have been the weather, I assume, because the weather looks like it's actually quite nice there at the moment. In terms of, like, it's a winter evening. Like, it's not raining. That's very good work from Moana Pasifika. Where's the ball? It's down, and that will be their first try of the contest now. Great work. And I think it's Moana Pasifika who's popped up. Yes, it is. Sick. Well, hopefully you do recover very soon. You can get a disposable valley tan. Says Flesh and a nice try. Says Novmum there as well. First move, chest to body. Famous instructional. Where are we anyway, Amy? Says Spider-Man. Well, we're currently 25 minutes in, and these two sides are just scoring try after try. Now, of course, we're seeing more tries scored by the Hurricanes at this stage of the contest, but I don't doubt that Moana Pasifika can't get back into this contest if they continue playing the way that they are here. He's got 2 for the season now, Sione Mafaleo, and one of which now coming up against his old side in the Hurricanes. I feel like that's a bonus, isn't it? You kind of feel pretty happy about it. Scoring up against your old side. Keep it there, who are you picking as the All Blacks loose forward trio? Well, that's where it gets tricky. Because you've got Hoskins Satutu, who is potentially in his best form that he's been in. You've got Ardie Savia, who theoretically, according to what they've done last year and the year prior, is actually going for that same jersey. And then you've got that number 6 jersey, which I feel like it's between Frizzell and Finau, isn't it? Probably Samapeni Finau, because I'm not sure of Frizzell's eligibility. So, Peter Luckey's got to be worth a shout as 7 or at least somewhere in there because of how well he's been playing throughout the season. I would definitely pick him over Duplessis Karifi at this stage, which I feel like can be a little bit controversial, but it's a good option. Nice attack and run from Lotuanisi and Morning Roof from Oxford. Says it Flesh in there as well. Thought they've been told to use it here, Moana Pasifika, with Jonathan Tamatina close to a charge down. It's going to go high again, 28 minutes in. Good shot on Godfrey by Anisi, that being Finney, and that is going to be another penalty going against the Hurricanes. Their discipline's starting to let them down here. And this time it is against the try scorer, Siale Luaki. Luaki, I should say. Couldn't get it out, but I got it out in the end. Satutu, don't mess with my tutu, says Ruth. Okay, that does rhyme slightly. It's good. Oh, it's not out. And it's claimed by Kini Naholo. Now it goes across to Aidan Morgan. And that one's just gone into touch. A fantastic kick downfield from Morgan there. Going back to the halfway line now. Just very quickly, in terms of the odds of this contest, we do see currently as it sits, the Hurricanes are heavily expected to be winning this game. I do see. Although Moana Pasifika aren't a mile out in terms of they're still big underdogs, but they're not as big of an underdog as they were near the start of this game. They were given a 1% chance of winning this contest. And Morning Roof, I'm fine, thank you. I'm glad you have the day off. No French boss chasing you around. What about Brad Shields for number 6? I mean, to be fair, he hasn't looked too shabby throughout the season. So if he still wants to be in the All Blacks, that's probably the big thing, isn't it? Because he's having a big season now, but does he want that added responsibility? Does he want to be in an AB's jersey again? That was a very British accent from Tom Savage, but that is going to be another penalty against the Hurricanes. This time they're taking on the 3-pointer here. which I'm not completely happy with. I feel like you have to go for the corner again, and you have to just keep that momentum rolling forward when you get that opportunity. But once again, it's just Duplessis Karifi who has given away the penalty and the breakdown. That's 2 in a row. He's not happy about it, but either he doesn't know the rule properly or the referee doesn't like him, and I think it's the first one. Because he just seems to be getting it in the wrong place, or when there's a player already in the breakdown, cause a bit of disruption. Right, they're saying that William Havili's got a bit of a breeze into him. Probability of this kick going over is 63%, but he needs to get it, because if he doesn't, that will hurt. I've had 3 coffees already. My heart rate is through the ceiling. It's a decent kick from Havili, but it's missed, which shows that they should have gone for the corner. Of course, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but in that scenario, you need to be going and putting the pressure back on the Hurricanes because they have given away so many penalties. You may even get yourself a penalty try if they keep doing it. Now 9 minutes remaining. A Nisi good crash and run from Lotu. And Moana has put pressure Canes to be slow or careful, slowly coming towards the business end of the competition. See, there's a Gita there. Oh, big shot from Justin Sangster. Back across Tom Savage. I mean, the Hurricanes, oh yeah, Karifi's right on the verge of giving away another penalty. In terms of every time he tries to get in there, do we dare try Scott Barrett at 6? I don't think so. I don't think they've got enough depth at lock at the moment to be able to risk him at 6. Oh, big contest in the air again. Shields was in a accidental offside position. There was also a knock on, so it will now be the scrum feed for Moana Pasifika. Have Moana milked this scrum? Says Mr. All-In. I mean, they won the last scrum, though, up against the Hurricanes. They did pretty well. That ball's just travelled sideways. 8 minutes remaining in this first half, though. At the moment, for the handling errors, there are 4 against Moana Pasifika and 3 against the Hurricanes at this stage of the contest. But the Hurricanes have got themselves the 3 tries, and they are chasing a bonus point here. They know how important this stage of the competition it is to be able to add more points on the board. Now Jonathan Tamatini about to put the ball in. And that one's going to take a little while to come out by the looks of it, but now it is available. Go to the left-hand side. To the midfield to Julian Savia. He's currently trying to catch up with TJ Perenara. It's going to be relatively tricky to do. And he's taking first water break. There'll be a few of those throughout the weekend, I would say. But Tamatine now going off to the left-hand side. William Havili. Ball on the inside to Danny Tuwala. Good shot on Pipisana Patafilo. Now Jonathan Tamatine goes back across to Abraham Pole. Tamatine. Savia. Off to Sione Havili Talatui. Oh, and Tamatine milks the penalty. Passes it into the player who was running back. It's going to be another chance for Moana Pasifika here. OMG is such a dinosaur. Back in the old days. Oh. Another sidestep coming. Sana Patafilo. They've still got the penalty advantage. Oh, tell you what, there's some huge hits coming in from these two sides. Tamatine across again to Savia, the bus. Just not quite getting into motion here. Subscribe and hit that like button, please. People, let's go. Where's Nazi Nate, Sebastian Kerr? It's a good question. I think we'll see a few of them popping up throughout the weekend. Maybe the later stage of this stream. We might see 1 or 2 of them coming in. It looks like now Moana Pasifika. There's the last warning coming for the Hurricanes because of not rolling away. Number 8 was offside this time. Okay, they pretty much just said if you want to compete in the breakdown, you need to make sure that you're getting the first man out first. Because Brad Shields was just asking for clarification. Were we all right other than the fact that there was a guy in the wrong place? And referee said, yep, you were fine. So they just need to make sure that they aren't making those little errors because they could have turned the ball over 1 or 2 times here. But kicking for the corner, they'll be about 15 metres out though for Moana Pasifika with Sam Mon. Says Team Cabling. That one's going to be thrown in. Nicely taken. Lotuanesi. Big run at Duplessis Karifi, who manages to sit him down. Now Savage round the side of the breakdown. Taken down by Kini Naholo. Tamatini in behind Abraham Poli. They're only a few metres out now for Moana Pasifika. And just half an inch to go here. And out to Toala. Just short of the try line again here. And, oh, that's close. That's a try for Moana Pasifika. They have got back into this contest, ladies and gentlemen, after being 3 tries down. Who scored the first try? For the Hurricanes, it was Raymond Tupu Tupu. For the first try of Moana Pasifika, it was Sione Mafaleo. But that is another try for Moana Pasifika. We have G'day Hamish, brush your teeth, don't smoke or date fancy ladies. I'm waiting oral surgery due to not a smart man like you when I was young. So don't date fancy ladies. How does that tie in with the other two? Is that just so that you don't spend money? I guess might be the tie in there. That's great work. Try coming there for Abraham Poli. In fact, did I already say that? I think I did. But both props scoring for Moana Pasifika. Now, that's quite interesting because for either of those two to score was probably about $13. For them to score the next try was probably $70. So people, whoever backed them, would be very happy. That is better from William R. Villi. That has gone over. But also, it's just a mindset change from Moana Pasifika to kick it for the corner rather than going for the 3 points has led them to get a lot more on the board. Like I've just said, Moana Pasifika's lineout's only been at 78%. Yet, they have been back in it, and they have to in this case. They've had a lot of changes at 2, whether that is Sama Malolo, whether that is Sam Molly. Oh, once again, looking for the turnover there. The Hurricanes not able to get it. And I am too busy to stay tuned in. Just here quickly to say hello, says Bruce. Well, welcome in, mate. If you are keeping well, nice run down the wing there. Just drop the ball, though. It's going to be another chance for Moana Pasifika. You're the best, thanks for the live. No worries at all. And I agree, just don't have a lot of faith in the loose forward trio who partners Barrett in the second row. See, that is a good question. Tupava'i maybe is the 5 at the moment that people are looking at, or Caleb Delaney might be in there. Oh, that's a big shot from Tupu Tupu, and he kind of stood up, pumped his chest as well, as if this wasn't the first game that we've actually seen him start. And it's going to be the penalty going the way of the Hurricanes. Amish, imagine don't date full stop. Fancy ladies are those... okay, so yeah, no, I haven't dated many of them. 1.5 minutes remaining at the moment. Like I just said, Jonathan Tamatino just returning from his injury that he did sustain not too long ago, actually. It was up against the Highlanders, I believe, that he got knocked out at the start of the contest. He's absolutely loving being out there at the moment, though. And Roof Carter, it's me, your favourite, says Tony. 1 minute left. Here comes Tupu Tupu with another line-out throw here for the Hurricanes. The 4-person line-out. They're going to go into the middle. Ben Grant challenged in the air by Alan Craig. Going to get his hand to the ball now. Duplessis Karifi again. Tackled well and hard by Sione Avili Talatui. And he's managed to milk that well. Duplessis Karifi trying to get there, not rolling away against Sione Avili Talatui. Just goes over his head for Tupu Tupu. Seeing a lot of calls for the ref in this game, or at least I'm hearing a lot of it. Now, little grubber attempted. Ball stolen, but they'll go back for the penalty. Not rolling away this time. This could be a 3-point opportunity here. And it possibly wouldn't be a bad choice for the Hurricanes, although once again it looks like they are kicking for the corner. They've decided that they have to approach this game with the same mindset that we are seeing from Moana Pasifika, which is always fun when both sides are backing themselves to go to the corner rather than going for the 3 points. We just heard the siren. I should mention at the moment in the odds, Hurricanes still favourite, but Moana Pasifika hanging in there. At the moment, I should mention they actually have 12 points. There we go. The chance now for the Hurricanes to be able to throw this ball in. Tupu. And ready for it. Nicely thrown to Ben Grant. Tupu hanging on to it at the back of this rolling ball. He has already got himself 1 try in this contest. Can he get himself another? I've been told to use at 2:45 a.m. here in the US. Will you be wearing the blazer this year for any broadcast? Probably. I'd say at least one game will involve having the suit on. I'm not sure about all of them, of course. I feel like we'll have a few that we don't have it on. Maybe instead just a suit and tie type arrangement. They've got themselves a penalty advantage here now for the Hurricanes inside ball to Justin Sangster, who has hit very well in the challenge. Kanina, he wanted it around the side of the breakdown, but the ball wasn't quite coming quick enough now. Big run from Ben Grant. Is Josh Law going to be ready by the time England get here? I don't think so. I think he's out for the season. Big run forward from Duplessis Karifi. Right, they've got an offside at the moment. Oh, hang on. Okay, penalty only. I was going to say for a second that sounded like they were considering a penalty try or a yellow card there for a player if it was deliberate, which luckily it was not. Looks like they're going to go for the quick tap again here. Duplessis Karifi, only a few metres out from the line, goes off the Puri Rackety Stones. You don't have to wear suit, says Spider-Man. Sometimes for the big games, Karifi's rolled forward. It's lost forward by Karifi. Okay, the pillars were offside, whatever that means. I think that means like the guys who are about to make the tackle on the quick tap. But Duplessis Karifi was very close to scoring there. Just came up short. Tell you, someone who I haven't seen much of, Devon Flanders, in this game. He'd probably be worth a shout. In terms of getting the ball to him, they're actually going to kick this one for the corner now here, the Hurricanes. They've decided that that is the better option. Like I've just said, it does seem like the best option at the moment is to go back to the line out, try and get that penalty. And maybe Hamish wears suit when the Springboks play Ireland. Says Brian, that would probably be a very good game to wear it for. That's going to be nicely claimed by Moana Pasifika against the feed. Tamatine making sure that time is up. Havili will kick it into touch, and they are only down by the 7 points at the moment, Moana Pasifika, in a game that they were expected to be quite far behind in. They're still $21 underdogs. As we currently sit, ladies and gentlemen, as well, I do see. Which is, it's quite impressive. The fact that they're considered as that big of an underdog when they're only down by 7. But that just tells you how strong the Canes have been in the second half of contest. We will quickly get some stats up as well while we are at half time. Should mention there is another game happening just a little bit later on tonight, ladies and gents. That will be the game between the Rebels and the Chiefs. That is going to be taking place at Amy Park in Melbourne. This match, been a bit of a seesaw. Plenty of running meters, 260 for the Hurricanes compared to the 184 that we have seen of Moana Pasifika. And also defenders beaten 11 by Moana Pasifika compared to the 6 of the Hurricanes. So actually in favour of the away side for this game. 4 clean breaks for the Hurricanes though compared to the 2. We saw that massive run from Daniel Sinkinson that helped his side get towards the try line. 7 offloads coming for Moana Pasifika and 4 for the Hurricanes. And then also in the tackling stats, 52 tackles made by Moana Pasifika, missing 7. Hurricanes 74 tackles made. They have missed 11 penalties. At the moment, 5 and 4, 5 against the Canes, 4 against Moana. Hurricanes should have taken 3 instead of wasting themselves trying to score a try. It's a mistake that a lot of teams, Australian ones in particular, make, says DJ Shack. And, like, it's all well and good, like, not taking that 3 if you can turn it into points. And to be honest, like, the Hurricanes had a very good chance of being able to turn that into points. Unfortunately, though, this was one of those times that it just didn't quite work. But so far, Sinkinson has had 72 meters run in this game. The second highest is actually Aidan Morgan. And I mentioned about Devon Flanders. He's had 9 meters carried from his 4 carries. An extremely quiet game for that man. Whereas Loto Anisi, of course, at the top of the bunch for Moana Pasifika. He's had most running meters. He's had most carries. He's had most defenders beaten. And he's also got a turnover. Looking through at tackling, 9 tackles made for Raymond Tupu. He's also got the 1 turnover in the breakdown. And then Loto Anisi sitting at 11 tackles made for Moana Pasifika. He's really the shining light of their team. The way that he is able to keep just going from strength to strength. He's definitely in the international side when he gets the chance. And maybe hot chips on fried eggs with chutney for breakfast, says Roof. Oh, I should also mention, not the chutney, that's reminded me, but the fact that Tonga are actually going to have a game up against the Queensland Reds, and also a women's Tongan team is going to be facing the women's Reds side in July, I believe. I wouldn't do it. You don't need analytics to tell you the guaranteed 3 makes a 2-score game, which relative to the effort needed is much better, says DJ Shack. Although, also, the other side of things with the 3 points is there have been times that it hasn't been guaranteed. We saw Aidan Morgan miss that earliest kick in the contest, so it should have been 100%, but you just never know. Sometimes rugby can be a weird game. Mum and Dad visit your country last year. They stay at a 5-star Bay Hotel. They even visit Table Mountain, says Spider Mick, and there's only 7 points in it. Come on, Moana Pasifika, says Ruth there as well. Yeah, they are really in this game at the moment, which is great to see. Bring back Desmond Tutu, says Tony, and hey Spider, that's a great hotel. One of the best at the waterfront. Glad you enjoyed. Gotta love a good hotel motel, don't you? When you go on a holiday. Of course, Rugby Championship, not too far away as well, ladies and gentlemen. I should mention we are going to be covering those games. Also coming up this weekend, we have got the URC that we are going to be covering on the channel. Alongside that, we have got Super Rugby. Tomorrow we are doing 3 games, including Fiji, Indrua versus the Reds. We have got Crusaders versus Brumbies, and then the game after that must be Blues versus Highlanders. So a bit of a thriller for 7 p.m. Then those 3 games in a row, like I mentioned. And All Blacks will be in San Diego in July, getting a Lima to afford a ticket now, says Kerman. And that's the thing, like, the tickets were extremely expensive for that game, and it is going to be All Blacks versus Fiji, so hopefully it is a close game. There is a chance that it's a little bit more one-sided, but I think either way people will be thrilled to be able to see some rugby in the USA. I believe the last time that we actually saw it in the USA would have been probably when they were... Was it when they were playing the USA? That might have been the last game we've actually seen New Zealand play in the US. I was trying to remember what year that was. We always get there, no true crime, not yet. Normally a Terminator movie person. There you go. Gotta love a bit of the Terminator. They are just doing Catch the Colonel. That's the highlight of my weekend most of the time. She's won it. $500 worth of KFC. And then the fun part is they make them eat the $500 worth of KFC, and then they see if they can still beat the Colonel, and most of the time they can't, because $500 of KFC gets you going. But second half, just around the corner, this game has got going, definitely, with the amount of tries that we have been seeing. Tupu managing to score the first one, Lua Kai getting the second, and Richard Judd gets the third for the Hurricanes. Mafaleo and Abraham Pole, the 2 try scorers for Moana Pasifika throughout this contest. Still plenty of action still to come in this exciting game. I should mention it again. Moana Pasifika, the only New Zealand side that they have managed to beat is actually the Hurricanes. In all of their games that they've played since joining Super Rugby, the Hurricanes are the only side that they have taken down. But off the bench for the Hurricanes, they've got James O'Reilly, Xavier Numia, and also Tosi, Walker Leawiri, Lakai, Phil Ewan, Higgins and Rayasi, so a pretty strong bench coming up for the Hurricanes in the second 40 for Moana Pasifika. They've got Sama Malolo, Langi and Sokopi Kipu. Toya Langi at 19 with Alamana Matonga at 20. Then Halo Christian Leleofano and also Anzelo Tuitavuki is there as the number 23. I feel like it would have been quite cool if I learned how to talk while drinking while I was reading out those names. I feel like that would have confused a lot of people. And on the next match too, yes, we are indeed. Rebels versus Chiefs should be a great one, and hopefully it is going to be just a back and forth. And I have a bad feeling that the Chiefs may win that one kind of comfortably. But you just never know, do you? That's the beauty of the game of rugby. Sometimes when you think it should be one-sided, team comes out of nowhere and manages to get themselves the victory. I kind of want Moana Pasifika to win, but if the Hurricanes lose, they face the Chiefs next week, I will be angry. Or will be angry, sorry, rather than I will be angry. They're just showing there, Jonathan Tamatini, some of his fancy footwork that he has had throughout this first half, looking extremely sharp at the moment. Well, we will go like that. And like that. There we go. You need a ventriloquist dummy to be able to talk and drink at the same time. Everyone knows that. Yeah, it doesn't look as good when you just got your hand, does it? Or just you're talking while... Because I was going to try and talk without moving my mouth, but I feel like that will just be a recipe for disaster, really. Thoughts on Moana coming back and D-Mac missing out. It'd be unfortunate for D-Mac, and I don't think he will. I think that they still have to try and go with the best option, and I think that is McKenzie, even with Moana coming back. Like, he's a perfect option for off the bench, I would say. I think that lady was crying in the stands, and they decided to put a camera on her. That's a bit rough. And a team based in New Zealand, not being a New Zealand team, is strange. I know the idea, but it's still strange. Says Fleshin, yeah. And, like, hopefully we get to see more games for them in Samoa and Tonga in the upcoming years. Like, we've seen one game in Tonga now, we've seen one game in Samoa, but we want to see more than just the one. I feel like they should have every game at home, like the Fijian draw, like every other side in the competition has. They should have a home field advantage. And, yeah, I feel like it's about time, if that makes sense. If the Chiefs lose tonight, will be a surprise, as they're almost back to full strength. Yeah, they're looking very good on paper at the moment, the Chiefs. And, like, to be honest, not saying it will affect the game, but my biggest concern about that game is Nick Berry. The fact that he is going to be refereeing it. You just never know what that man's going to do with the whistle in his mouth. So, hopefully, it's not going to be too bad. And we're going to get a free-flowing game of rugby. It's just normally when it's a Nick Berry game, you don't really get that. Which is, like, it's unfortunate, but it happens. So hopefully the players will be able to adapt and kind of do well in those circumstances. Second half, almost here, ladies and gentlemen. That was actually a pretty free-flowing first half of rugby. We're just going to very quickly go like this. The game ended 10... There was a 45-minute half. That's pretty good. Super Rugby doing it well at the moment, it would seem, in terms of being able to get those games done in a certain window. Only thing worse than Nick Berry is an English ref. So yeah, as a Lord 7th. And we always get the idea, true crime catfish. That's a weird one. And put the dogs on her. Put the dogs on her. My uncle is being catfished by a lady in South Africa. But I assume that your uncle doesn't know he's being catfished, is the situation at hand. You thought about telling him? Might be a good idea. But do let me know your end score predictions in this game, ladies and gents. With 7 points difference, which I don't think anyone anticipated. Because, like, the way that the odds sit at the moment, right? Moana Pasifika are still $21 underdogs, even though they're only down by 7. And I find that incredible, but I think that's because of the bench that they have got available here in this game. The Hurricanes, they should be strong enough to get themselves through the rest of this match. But you just you just never know. Looking through at what is to come. The Hurricanes, they will be playing the Chiefs next week. That is going to be such a crucial game for them in terms of their overall standings, their overall chances of being able to win. Did you know Michaela Blyde is getting married to her fiancé, who's Michael Brake? Wonder if she would take his name. So that would be Michaela Brake, wouldn't they? Rather than, that's very close in terms of like matching people for their names. Like if his name was Michael Blyde, then that would be about as close as you can get. They can both put Michael in their name. Last names are a bit different. Cousin is supporting him and also catfished by her. His two sisters also cousins. See what's going on. I can't do anything. Says a true crime. And the Chiefs will pump the Canes. They might. It's going to be interesting though. See how it ends up going in that contest. But you just, like I said, you just never know. That's the beauty of Super Rugby. As much as it's annoying that 8 teams make it through to the next stage, because it does mean that a side that's have hardly any wins is going to make their way forward. Like at the moment, it seems like you're going to need 5 wins, and then of your 13 games, if you've won 5, that would be enough to get you into the top 8. Maybe 6 at a stretch. I'd say 6 wins will get you there. So you only need to lose about 55% of your games, and you will win, if that makes sense, which it doesn't. My brain's on a bit of a go slow at times today, ladies and gents. I think it is the lack of sleep. But we will be well rested for tomorrow, I would like to think. Oh, they're just showing a burger on the screen. They're being very mean showing that one. At the top of the bunch, though, I should mention the Blues were there. And the Hurricanes in second. I initially thought the Hurricanes would be a shoo-in. But then I looked at the team selection and realized it's going to be close. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people just assumed, like, even with this lineup, theoretically, I still would have thought that they would be close. But, yeah, at the moment, she is keeping a close game between these two sides, which is great. Just chatting away to Stephen Jones at the moment. I'm once again going to see whether or not that has changed in terms of the odds. They shouldn't be $21 underdogs. I can tell you that right now. Like, I would have them 9 if I had to guess. Like, in terms of what I think they should be. Tough battle for that top 8. Well, it isn't, if that makes sense. Like, the top 4 seem to be where the real battle is taking place at the moment. But I'm not sure about the next section down. It just seems to be that there's a lot of one-sided like games taking place, and then most of those sides down below are getting beaten badly by the sides above them. But yeah, still 21. They shouldn't be $21 underdogs. In sevens, there are 2 pools in Madrid, says Randita. Yeah, they've got it a little bit different, and the reason behind that is because of the format. Pretty much it's like a finals format. You've only got the 2 groups because the next groups are playing off for, okay, Hurricanes still the same, they just mentioned. But yeah, pretty much there's 2 groupings of teams because the other 4 that are normally on the circuit are playing off for their spots on the circuit, which is quite a scary thought when you're a side that are outside of that top 4. So I think in the end it was Samoa, Canada, Spain, and I think USA ended up missing out after Great Britain managed to get themselves a bit further in the competition. I might have to very quickly check that as well. We'll do some fact checking, ladies and gents. Although we are almost at the second half. In fact, we might not quite have time to Google it yet, as Aidan Morgan is about to kick this one off. But we will have a look, hopefully, before the end of the game. We're back underway. Just like that. Halftime is over. And Lotto Anisi back in possession. Moana at $21 plus on Betfair. And 20 all for you. Oh, that's a close game, Nov Mum. But yeah, like, I honestly don't think Moana Pasifika should be that big of an underdog in this contest. Yes, if the Hurricanes score next, they're going to be in a bit of trouble. But I don't think it's going to be the end of the world for them. You know, like, they'll still be within a slither, I would say. Nice run from Kinina Holo again there. And the penalty goes the way of the Hurricanes. Left hand was always on the ball, they have said. And he's disappointed about it as well there for Anisi. Aidan Morgan doesn't find touch. That is a crucial error. Karifi doesn't look happy about it, although he's given away more penalties than anyone in this game. 39 minutes remaining and only 7 points splitting these two teams. There is definitely going to be some sort of bonus point, I would say, in play here. It's either going to be for the Hurricanes to run away in this last 40 minutes, or it's going to be for Moana Pasifika being within 7, I think, is the other real option that we've got at the moment. Now, Kini Naholo trying to step his way through. Ball's available. Sangster wrestled down again here. Back across to the right-hand side. Aidan Morgan and mine. Balin Sullivan, pressure. Flanders tries to jump on it, but Morgan gets it. Now Umaga Jensen goes to Judd. Oh, he's been slammed. So that has knocked that ball free. Kicking him behind, looking for touch there. And just claiming it was Aidan Morgan. It will be interesting to see the crowds they get in Madrid. See his question. That's true, because like they are... Well, where do they normally do it in Malaga, don't they? Which I think I've said wrong. Is it Malinga? Malinga? No, how do they say it? They say it in some way anyway. But yeah, it's like normally not the biggest crowd you'll see, but they seem to have fun. That's another knock on from Moana Pasifika, which now gives us about the 3rd scrum of the day. We haven't seen a huge amount of them, maybe 4th. I think Moana Pasifika have had 2 scrum feeds, whereas the Hurricanes have only had the 1. They are just showing off the bench. Malolo, Langi, Kepu as the front row, Toya Langi, and also Matanga Halo, Christian Liliafano, and Tuatavuki. Going to be all the players. The way they say it is Spanish. Yes, it is. And I do not speak Spanish, sadly. I wish I did. I feel like if I spoke Spanish, it'd be alright. I wish that I could... I was going to say I wish I could swear at people in a different language and them not know. But I don't often need to do that. So we probably don't need those skills. Another scrum reset here. Abraham Poli just listening closely. We did see Moana Pasifika the last time that these two sides play. 24 points to 19 at Malaga. You are right. That's an expat town. Okay, so it's actually a lot easier to say than I thought. But yeah, they normally get like a decent-ish crowd for that one. So hopefully it's the same in Madrid. Now scrum again here. Hello, my little one goes, what? Says Mr. All-In. Front rows collapse. And penalty Moana Pasifika again. I've got a lot of penalties up against what is normally a top scrum in the comp, but that is because they've made those changes. Off the bench, of course, they're going to have James O'Reilly, Xavier Numia, and a couple more reinforcements. Looks like Moana Pasifika, they are kicking for the corner here. You might as well. At the end of the day, like, you're in a position where you can really just go for it. Hope for the best. Kind of just see what happens. Kicking for the corner, like I mentioned. They'll be about 15 metres out, so still a little way to go. Now, early chance. Why not? They throw it in. No, straight. It was a little bit wonky there. Oh, hang on, they've got 2 halfbacks. So it's actually going to be a free kick in favour of the Hurricanes anyway. And nice, Moana doing a good job at the moment. But then we talked about the 3 points earlier on, right? That is another time that maybe 3 points could have been crucial if Moana Pasifika had decided to take them instead of going for the try. So it works both ways for these sides in terms of who is making the right decisions in terms of those threes. Now going to be thrown in. Over the top, Sam Molly. It's knocked on by Sione Mafaleo. And they're going back for that knock on. Like I've just said, there is plenty of noise at the moment out there on the park. I still don't know who's going to win this one per se. Like, I feel like the Hurricanes should, right? But there's a part of me that still thinks that Moana Pasifika are in with half a shot. Just a little one. Not a huge one, just a little one. Avish, you still remember me? Yes. You've still got your lightning bolt. And now I have to try and remember what your name was beforehand. It was Mr. All-In, wasn't it? And then you had the lightning bolt. No, Mr. All-In is here. Hang on. What was the name that came with the lightning bolt? It's going to really annoy me until you say it. But same profile picture, same lightning bolt. I just can't think of what your name was originally. Stay Hunky's really thrown me off, I'll be honest. But now kick downfield from the Hurricanes. Nicely taken it back by Danny Tawalu, who's 40 metres out from his line. Morgan taking it very nicely. Kicking it downfield. Awkward ball. An awkward bouncing one, but William Havili is there to be able to claim it. All I can think of is Mr. All-In now, Stay Hunky. But it's not Mr. All-In, because Mr. All-In is here already. Spider Mech. It's Spider Mech, is it? No, Spider Mech. Sorry, I just read Spider Mech. That's why I said that. I'm just reading names in the chat and then going, oh yeah, it's this. But no, the reason I thought I remembered it is because I see the name. Now going short side for the Hurricanes. Sinkinson, dragged down. Going short, close to the touchline there for Umaga Jensen, and he's been wrestled out. And Spanish man in tight leather pants. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Can I have the first letter? Because every time I look at your name now, I see Stay Hunky, and I can't stop thinking that that is the name. But of course it is not. It looks like a couple changes being made. Like Rakiti Stones off for Numia. Also, Tupu Tupu off for James O'Reilly, who is returning from an injury. This is loose here. And nicely cleaned up. Lakai onto the field for Duplessis Karifi. He's had his fair share of penalties against him throughout this game. So I feel like that is a good choice to take him off the field. Now Tamatini. Come back to Tuala. And he gets it into touch, only about 15 metres out at the moment. Looks like a decent crowd though. Now I'm reading I Stay Hunky, which is not what it was. But my brain's gone blank. Richard Judd, inside ball to James O'Reilly. And I see do make him do. Says Spider-Man now back across. Judd going now to Xavier Numio. Already has a lot of strapping on the forehead. Now Morgan. Wide cut out pass goes to Daniel Sinkinson. Nice stepping from him. Manages to dodge Peter Lakai. Shields. Offload to Judd. It's gone backwards. Slightly touched the referee, but it hasn't really changed the outcome. Offloaded on the inside. Loto Anisi manages to get the ball back. Oh, it's Ivan, is it? Yeah, it's Ivan. Sorry. Yeah, that was my bad. Now chipped him behind. Tuala. He's going to get that one. Morgan and runs it into touch. Didn't want to take the risk. He's been told to put the ball down. He throws it away, and the penalty goes the way of Moana Pasifika because Aidan Morgan was stalling. Drive. And as we get there, Brumbies and the Blues that'll be cheering hard for Moana. Says, and we'll help them out drastically in terms of their chances of being that top qualifier. What's Stay Hunky doing, refreshing your memory? Says Ruth. Yeah, we worked out now. It's Ivan. That's going to be 5 metres. In fact, about 9 metres out from the line, I'd say that is, for Willie Havili. There's still time left in this game. That is the beauty of it. Moana Pasifika, if they score again, You know, you put yourself in a position where you shouldn't be able to lose with a bonus point against you, I believe. I know that that's not really a sentence, but they've nailed that one. Loto Anisi gets it away to Finney. Now, Jonathan Tamatene shot on the spine from Ben Grant. They've got the penalty advantage again. Now Havili going to try himself. And he's kept up on his back. I should say, diving for the line, Jacob Norris. Just half an inch out from the line. Wide cut out pass from Tamatene. And Finney Anisi scores the try. Have the Hurricanes done too much here? Have they changed too many players in a game that was a crucial one to bounce back from their loss? Because now we're in the scenario of the Hurricanes. They might be at a level playing field at the end of this kick. Now I'd like to think that they've got them as less of an underdog here. Surely Moana Pasifika are like $9, like I mentioned that they should have been at halftime. They are suspended at the moment, so we don't get to find out. And game on, says Ivan. Right, the TMO is happy with that clean out on Aidan Morgan. And oh boy, here we go, says Spider-Meek. Like I said, the only team that Moana Pasifika has beaten from New Zealand is the Hurricanes. Oh, that kick has missed from Havili. Hurricanes let the Wallabies stand out. Went offside, bright yellow, says Hanoi. 19 points to 17 with still another 27 minutes left in this game. They will have to be very careful here, the Hurricanes, that they don't end up letting this game slip away from them. Nicely taken by William Havili. Off to Lotu Anisi, who will always run a hard. Can they make it into the 8th if they beat the Chiefs? Says Stay Hunky. Are we talking Hurricanes? The Hurricanes are currently sitting in 2nd, so they are more than safe. Charge down. Peter Lakai gets the bounce of the ball. He's an All Blacks bolter, and he has just got that try straight back for the Hurricanes at a time when Moana looked like they were ready to come back into the contest. Some class from Peter Lakai. 27 minutes left and Sleepy says Mr. All In. But William Havili, it's charged down by Peter Lakai. Bounce of the ball was a little bit wobbly. Had to wait patiently and just uses his pace. And then from there, they just had to sit there and watch him place that ball down. No one was going to get near him. And what a fluke. Nah, that was well read by Peter Lakai, to be fair. He saw that Havili was quite deep in the pocket. Took off as soon as he went for that pass back to Tamatene, and it just took that little bit longer. And does score the try. Sometimes you need a little bit of luck in terms of the way that the ball bounced, which I assume is what you are referring to there, though. But Aidan Morgan now to line up this kick. And he's got it over Aidan Morgan. Hurricanes looking like going to sleep, says Roof, although now they have got themselves the 26 points to 17 lead as we currently sit. And shocking clearance, Moana. Like the Aussie under 20, number 10, who choked all his pressure kicks, says Anoi. Yeah, I feel like there was a little bit of, I would say, complacency in the way that Moana Pasifika dealt with that kick. In terms of they didn't look like they had any sort of hustle to them. And Lucky Pound says Spider-Meek, that is going to be another knock on. And this time it was from Justin Sangster. It just seems to be either Isaiah Walker-Leawiti or Sangster. Whoever's in that lock-in duo in the starting lineup, someone has to be dropping the ball. And in this game, unfortunately, Sangster is the one who has drawn that short straw. Sorry, Amish, I'm still daydreaming here. It's the Canes, eh? Says Stay Hunky. It certainly is, yes. But if Moana Pasifika beat the Canes here, that would actually put them into the top 8 as we currently sit. But, you know, there's still plenty of time left in this round. We get to see the Fijian drawer play the Reds at his first game tomorrow. Rebels versus Chiefs later tonight. We are also going to be covering that one on the channel. That is kicking off in around an hour and 10 minutes time, somewhere around there. Then, of course, tomorrow night, also Crusaders versus Brumbies, followed by Highlanders versus Blues, and also Waratahs versus Western Force. And then in the afternoon, Sunday 4 p.m, Black Ferns taking on the Canadians. "24 minutes left though. Tamatini already has had a great impact throughout this game, but he needs another try for his side here. They've been told to use it. Going off to the right-hand side. Avili with the little ball on the inside to Julian Savia. Morgan has to work hard to get him down. Now it's going to be, I believe that's a knock-on from the Hurricanes. Yes, it is. So Moana Pasifika back in position. Tamatini goes back across to William Havili. While he uses his leg strength. Eventually dragged down by Judd. Now Tamatine again goes back across to Alan Craig. Has to be a draw. Said good, although of course if both sides are on the same amount of points, we do go to golden point time, where eventually a winner will be decided. Or actually, to be fair, they can still play for, I think it's 10 minutes of extra time before, tell you what, Peter Luckey's got it back. But yeah, they can go a little bit of golden point time before going for a complete draw. Balin Sullivan almost ended up with that ball, but Finney Anisi gets it away to his brother Lotu, who looks for the pass back to Finney. At the moment, it's like backyard rugby between the two brothers. A neutron flash, some kind of good description, Ruth. Says stay hunky. Tamatini, back into the packet again to Havili Tuala. Passes to Pipisana Patafilo. Got it away to Sione. Havili Talatui. Now the bus. No pass was coming there from Julian Savia, and because of it, the Hurricanes looking for the counter ruck. Still there. Looked like Jacob Norris did step up to play that half-back role. Ball's been knocked on. Chance for the Hurricanes to run it back here. Tack and run from Cameron. In fact, that time it was actually Godfrey. They look kind of similar. Him and Brett Cameron getting the holo. Tackle low again. Here comes Peter Luckey. Breaks through one, but he's dragged down. And they're paying Crusaders versus Brumbies game going to be painful. It's going to win. It's a really, really hard game to predict, that one, because both sides on their given day can win the game. But it's just more what happens on that given day, whether or not there is a chance that it is a close contest or not. Now, Umunga Jensen thought about the offload. Goes away Judd now. Cross to Xavier Numia. Judd now searching for it. Goes across to Morgan. Naholo, that was close to Ford. To Balin Sullivan. Replacement halfback. I don't think it'll be too far away for Lewin. Chance for him, of course. Well, the Hurricanes in this game, new penalty advantage in favour of the Canes, now going to the short side. Bump off from Daniel Sinkinson. And Satyrs gone, I go Brumbies. Says Spider Mech. Cross to Xavier Numia. A little bit of a rough pass going to him. Still playing under penalty advantage at the moment. Nice short ball to Peter Luckey. Another aggressive run. 25-27 to the USA. You know I'm saying it's so impressive. Hamish burning up. Here's Ruth Brad Shields. Round the breakdown again. Pick and go from Ben Grant. Although he's isolated himself. No advantage. Going against Jonathan Tamatene for leaving his feet. They're up to the 22. Justin Sangster. That's a new penalty advantage. And they'll go back for the penalty now. 20 minutes remaining in this contest now. Both sides working extremely hard at the moment. Sounds like Brad Shields is happy enough to take the 3 points here rather than going for the 7. So far we've seen 97 tackles made by the Hurricanes compared to the 96 of Moana Pasifika, who actually have a higher tackle completion rate than the Hurricanes in this game. We've seen a huge amount of tackles already made by Lotu and Nisi at 11 in the first half. Probably had another 11 in the second half so far with the 20 minutes gone. Now Aidan Morgan. Ball already blew off the tee a little bit earlier on. That's actually the only kick that he has missed of the day. He's got 20 seconds now to line this one up. 33 metres out, and this will give the Hurricanes that lead of 12 points. And he's got it over. Now going to make the score 29 points to 17. Yeah, just showing KFC deliver. Tell you what, KFC get a lot of advertising, don't they? They have Catch the Colonel at halftime where you got to try and chase a colonel around the field. That's good fun. I think what they should do is they should dress a rugby player up as the colonel, have him run out onto the field, and your job is to try and tackle it. And you've got like a minute to try and cut him off in a certain area and take him to the ground. But then they probably can't do that because health and safety would say otherwise. That one's gone out. And, yep, it's just travelled the 10 for Moana Pasifika. And I'm talking very marginally. It is now going to be the line-out throw for the Hurricanes and James O'Reilly. It's just about ready to throw this one. Gone in, claimed by Shields. Tuatavuki is onto the field. And that is going to be for Pipisana Patafilo. Tuatavuki now, first touch for him. Goes off to Denny Tawala looking for the touch line. And does very well with it. It's Magic Round in the NRL and Indigenous Round in the AFL this weekend. Don't know what it is in Super Rugby this weekend. I know that we had Culture Round recently in Super Rugby, but I'm not sure what round 13 is. I think it's every fourth round. So I think round 4 was a round of some sort. We saw round 8 was Kids Round, I believe. Might have been Club Round, actually, or like Heritage Round or something. Oh, double charge down from Moana Pasifika. And Sinkinson is very close to the try line there. I think Moana Pasifika fell the wrong way. They've tried to wrestle him for the try. That was close. And Moana Pasifika believe that they have scored the try, or at least I think that they believe that they may have got a scrum here. Jonathan Tamatine doing well to stretch out Daniel Sinkinson's leg. Okay, and like I've just said, I think that Moana Pasifika are going to get penalised for being off their feet in that breakdown. And Pasifika need to turn up their power now on a high last game quarter. Says Ruth. So we're going to see here, Jacob Norris. Yeah, off his feet there. Which I think then means that the Hurricanes aren't able to join the breakdown as efficiently as they normally would. So in a way, it's the equivalent of a tackler not rolling away. I think they're asking for no clear release as well here. So Norris goes for the ball. Then he goes down. The ball makes it over on the short side. I'm not sure who's ripped it away though. So this is one of those ones that at best, I think Moana Pasifika get themselves a scrum. Our player who's been dropped, taking his anger out on the public dressed as Colonel, would be great to watch. It would probably get them in a bit of trouble, I would say, but wouldn't it be entertaining? Okay, it's going to be a 5-metre attacking scrum for Moana Pasifika here. And that is because of Jacob Norris being only a couple metres out and pushing over that breakdown. I think they're just asking that question. Did he leave his feet? It's a great word from Jonathan Tamatini in there. Get that charge down. We saw one down the other end from Peter Luckeye. What's up, buddy? Says Cody. Welcome in, mate. You are keeping well. Good game happening between these two sides. 12 points difference at the moment, but a try here for Moana Pasifika would put them back within that bonus point. And yep, definitely, says Spider Mech. Only 16 minutes left. I think that's Finney and Nisi way out on that right wing, ready for a potential cross kick here. Although, first of all, we're going to have another reset. Colonel Slanders and his crispy chicken nuggets, says Ruth. I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the nuggets from KFC. I feel like other places have got better chicken nuggets. Their chicken tenders, though, when they're cooked right, they're quite nice. Don't mind one of those. Or 7. Pasifika haven't given up. Exactly right. Like they're still in this game, which is good to see. The fact that they are taking it down to the wire. And will be included in AB's squad. Read it somewhere earlier today. Yeah, he's an option. By the sounds of it, that's going to be a free kick to the Hurricanes. That does hurt Moana Pasifika, definitely because they were 5 metres out the line. I think Sama Malolo has actually been the man penalised there. Now Morgan, he'll be kicking this one for the touchline. Now, it will be Moana Pasifika's line-out throw from 22 metres out, but they are just a lot further out than they were a moment ago. Morgan, he's rocking the 2 lines there. I believe that is from when he took a knock on his nose not too long ago. Alamanda Matunga is now onto the field. That is for Lotto and Nisi. He's had a very good game so far for Moana Pasifika, and Matunga now has to go back out there, I guess, try and live up to that expectation. 22 metres out at the moment, though, for Moana Pasifika. And Richie Boom, as good as he gets, says Roof. Now, Danny Toala going across there on the outside. Tua Tavuki just keeps in the field of play, or does he know the foot was on the line? Disappointed in it as well there for Tua Tavuki. Thought that he had done just enough to stay in, and then just the fingertip. Well, the fingertip equivalent, the toe tip, I guess you could say. Which format of rugby and how many teams will be participating in the upcoming Olympics? I believe it is 12 teams that they have got in the Olympics. And I think it's 3 groups, similar to what we've got at the moment. Or it might even be 16 teams. I think it's one of those 2. I think it might be 12, though, that are available for the Olympics. Kick downfield from the Hurricanes to Tavuki, taking it on the halfway line. Now big running forward. Tackled by Sinkinson. Alan Craig hits it up again. This is where Moana Pasifika just have to make sure that they're hanging on to that ball for that little bit longer. Oh, and Nisi's got cramp or something there. The clean out is good and the turnover is good. I think Finney and Nisi, I hope it's just cramp anyway, but they are going to go to the short side by the looks of it. Phil Ewan with that left boot gets the ball to just bounce into touch. Fish fingers are tasteless like soggy cardboard. Tell you what I haven't had in a while, and that is fish fingers. I've had fish, like fillet type bite things that are crumbed, and I've had fish bites. But I don't think I've had a fish finger in probably a good 2 or 3 years. Guess what I'm going to have tomorrow, just for fun? Oh, charge down again. Can he charge it down a second time, Sangster? He cannot. He's actually crunched Danny Toala there. Probably lucky not to get penalised for that one. Running forward. Playing advantage. Good run from Godfrey. Not the biggest player out there on the field, but he does pack a bit of a punch. Phil Ewan goes off to the right-hand side to Sinkinson. And that same Amish, still fish fingers. And hey, stop yawning, you've got me going. Says a moa hunters, I should say. Oh, Lakai with the sniping run. Wanted the pass with the pick and go and the penalty. Going back for the original one in favour of the Hurricanes. Well, we will go like that. We'll go like that. There we go. Like they're just saying, bit of a messy game at the moment between these two sides, the way that we're sitting. And that one's gone out. Is that 5 metres out? No, it's not. He's kept it dead, Aidan Morgan. He was looking right for the corner. But isn't able to get it there. Oh, and like they've actually just mentioned, for the Hurricanes, if they had kicked that 3, like, they would have actually been ahead by 15, but they are looking for a little bit more. And they want to get themselves the bonus point from this game if they can. Fish fingers used to be tasty long time ago when I was a youngster. Now they made with all sorts of fish meal and flavouring. I feel like that's like most things, isn't it? Like, so many things used to be really, really good. And then, I don't know whether it's because we're older now. I'm speaking like I'm like mid-30s, but, you know, whether it's because we've got older and we're not as, like, happy-go-lucky about what we get. Like, back in the day when you got chicken nuggets, you didn't care what were in those chicken nuggets. You'd just be happy because you had chicken nuggets. Whereas now when I have a chicken nugget, I'm like, that's about 4% chicken. Yay. You know, you don't quite get that same buzz as you used to as a child. Right, we're getting a little bit more scrum talk at the moment. These two front rows do not seem to be cooperating in a manner that they should be, which is unfortunate. Like I just mentioned, Moana Pasifika, it is crucial for them to get bonus points from all of their remaining games, if not winning them. They can still get within 7, but it's going to be quite a mountain to climb with the amount of time that is remaining. Now, there is another game that is taking place very soon, ladies and gentlemen, and that will be the contest between the Chiefs and the Rebels. That is nicely stolen. Peter Lakai again involved. Leon going off to the left-hand side. I haven't seen Devon Flanders in this game, and I thought that he was going to be one of the keys for the Hurricanes. I said that him versus Lotto Anisi, and Anisi certainly stepped up in that position, but we haven't really seen too much from the other side of things. Yes, intellectual thinking, Hamish from you, says Brian. And Brian got some cooking reviews, says Ivan. Do you want to be called Ivan or stay hunky? Ivan, do let me know. Sounds like more changes are going to be made for the Hurricanes here. How often you go to KFC and eat? Not very. To be honest, like every once in a while, like me and George, we filmed a video there recently. In terms of KFC, that's going to be not straight from the Hurricanes, but other than like doing it for a video or just doing it as a random event, like it's probably, I've had it maybe 3 times this year, and we're currently in the 5th month. So yeah, not that much overall. Sinkinson is off the field. That is for Riley Higgins. Speaking of Rileys, James O'Reilly back in the front row. Got 9 minutes remaining here. And if Moana Pasifika are to somehow win this game, they would need to do something very soon. Roof, you are wild, says Ivan. Come on, Pasifika, got to run that ball. And yeah, if they score a try now, that only gets them closer. At the end of the day, they'll still have enough time to score again, but they will have a bonus point and play. Oh, a little bit of a trip there. Or a little bit of a slip, I should say. A big run from Julian Savia. Going off to the left-hand side here. Great running. Off to the left. Thought about popping it up, but instead will take the contact for Sama Malolo. Digging for it was Asia Halo. Good leg strength from Alamana Matunga. They're 10 metres out at the moment. Denny Tualo on the short side. Little bit isolated. Kenny Nolo hands on the ball, but didn't have it for long enough for the referee's liking. So floated to Sionia. Havili Talatui. Hello. He's being told to use it. Gotta make sure that he's getting rid of it there, or else the referee eventually might say no. I told you to use it and you didn't. Alamana Matunga now getting extremely close to the try line here. Moana Pasifika. They are within 4 metres. And they have got the advantage as well. So they can throw everything into it. Kane's trying to end the game. And that's going to be knocked on. Going back for the penalty in favour of Moana Pasifika. I think they're asking for a yellow card to be given to one of the Hurricanes players. Referee's saying they've already got enough yellow. It's on their kit. KFC only has okay zinger wings and coleslaw salad. So here's Ruth. They're going to go for the scrum here. Could be an option. Like they're just saying maybe the tap is the best option here. Right. They're going to take the tap Moana Pasifika here. Gains a bad, says either Rob. And so on Moana. And also left. So here's Mr. All-In, but 5 metres out, Sama Malolo. Just instructing traffic at the moment, deciding which pass is going to be the best option. He goes himself here for Sama Malolo. 3 metres out, in fact, he's probably about 2 now. With that ball being recycled over for Alamanda Matunga. He gets it between the posts, and this game is not over yet. 6 minutes remaining. Moana Pasifika, the last time that they played the Hurricanes was in 2022. Or maybe 2023, and they beat them. Is it going to be the case again here? Over the try line, though, for Alamanda Matunga. I mentioned that he needed to step up in the way that Lotu Anisi was when he was out on the field. This will be a nice, easy kick as well, straight out in front of the posts. What does that do to the odds in this game? Surely they can't be $21 underdogs when they're within 7 points of their opposition. The whole risk and reward factor in this contest, isn't it, Christian Leliofano? Hurricanes decided that they wanted to go for the corner rather than taking the 3. That 3 would have given them, at this point, an 8-point lead. But that one has gone over from Christian Leliofano, and it makes the score now 24 points to 29. Just under 5 minutes remaining in this contest. If the Hurricanes go down, it's on the coach, says Joe Webby. I mean, like the coach, yes, he's made a lot of changes, but the players who are out there on the field will still be pretty disappointed with how they played throughout this game. Like Moana Pasifika have been strong in this contest, but there's still been a lot that the Hurricanes have done wrong in this game, whether it's giving away the penalties, just those little errors not being clinical enough in this game. But Leliofano has to go for the kick himself, bouncing up nicely for Harry Godfrey, who now has the opportunity to run this one back at the line. For Leon, waiting patiently there as well. It's going to be a player advantage. Right, this time I think that they will have to take the 3 points if it becomes available. Still going to be play on at the moment though. Moana Pasifika going for the counter ruck, and they'll go back for the penalty. And this is going to be a crucial one too. No guts, says Mr. All-In, and Yahoo, Moana Pasifika, come on boys, keep trying. So here's Ruth. There's going to be number 19, Tawialangi, has been penalised for that one. They're taking on the shot this time. Adam Morgan just asking the sideline whether or not that is the option. Chinese seafood restaurant, OP. Says stay hunky. But if he can get this kick over Aiden Morgan, that will give them the 8-point lead. If he misses this kick, there's still a chance for Moana Pasifika. And there is still a chance for Moana Pasifika either way to get a bonus point. They would just need some form of points before the end of this game. Now Morgan doesn't want to make this same mistake twice in terms of not taking on at 3 points. This to give them the 8-point lead. He is using up every second that he can here. Aiden Morgan. And come on, Moana, get it done. Fortunately for me, I have a spear fisherman friend who stays in my apartment and block opposite the sea. He often brings me fillets of fresh fish. So tasty when fried with olive oil. Says Brian, that sounds like a pretty decent deal, doesn't it? You give him a bit of accommodation, he gives you a bit of fish. That kick has gone over, like I mentioned, 32 points to 24 now, as the way that it sits for Moana Pasifika. They need some form of point, and they need it very soon. I believe they have to kick this one off short to try and retain it, and that is exactly what they've done, but it hasn't gone the 10. Mistake from Christian Leliofano there. Now gives the Canes a perfect chance because they will be able to use their scrum, maybe have a scrum reset as well. They might even purposely do it a little bit just to use up that bit more time. But at this point, I don't believe Moana Pasifika can win this game. It's just more of the question of can they get within the 7. And quite a good game so far. Well, to be fair, says Stuart Moore, yeah, it's been a very good game between these two sides. Like Moana Pasifika have played a lot better than a lot of people anticipated. Hurricanes, they have probably, like they've been a bit average at times, but overall with the amount of changes, it was always going to be a bit of a issue for trying to find what was going to work. I should mention, in about 45 minutes time, we have got another game that has taken place, and that is going to be the contest between the Chiefs and the Rebels. So be sure to tune in for that one. Now ball is there off the back for Phil Ewan, who slings it away to the left-hand side. We have there McDonald's versus Burger King. Why eat with a clown when you can dine with a king? I mean, that's a fair point, although the King's never there when we're there, sadly. We actually waited 10 minutes for a cup the other day, so that was pretty impressive. I think that a clown would bring it to you a lot quicker. That's going to be the penalty now, going the way of Moana Pasifika. Now, 30 seconds left. They cannot win this game, but they can get within 7. And no Callaway for the Rebels, big loss for them. And drop the ball, I should say. And also we have got there Argentina Bulldogs player absolutely choke the easiest pass, which was a guaranteed try, says Spinks. And I'll spend a night with Wendy. And Canes will win 32 points to 31. And like I feel like out of these two sides, of course Moana Pasifika would be disappointed, but they'd still be pretty happy to be in a position where up against the second highest side, that's a great turnover from the Hurricanes. They look like they want to play for a little bit longer. I don't believe the siren has sounded as of yet. So Riley Higgins now will run his way forward. Gets it away to Godfrey. They're on the halfway line at the moment. Right, that is the siren. Phil Ewan going back across to Morgan. Pop pass up to Salisi Rayasi with the flick out the back door. One more pass. That was very close to Ford. To Devin Flanders, who has stayed in the field of play. First carry almost for that man that we've seen in the second half. There is no reason that the Hurricanes have to keep on playing here, but they want to. Increase the points differential, I'd say, is about the only thing I can think of why they want to keep on playing. Nice run forward from Phil Ewan. They're risking injury and everything in this game for the sake of one more try. That's going to be knocked on. Alamuna Matonga, they were close to kicking that one into touch, and now advantage for Moana Pasifika. Off to Sakopi Kepu. Nice step in the midfield from Leleofano. Back to his feet. I've lost the ball. Ronald's favourite number was 32. Says Mr. Allen. Good game, everyone. Now back across to Walla. Big pass. Keeps it just in the field of play. Lot of pressure on Tamatena, who pretty much runs that ball out. He knew it was going to be trouble, so he decided the best option would be to go into touch, and I think he might have injured himself in the process, which is even worse for him. But the end of this contest, 32 points to 24. There's been a lot of sides losing by 8 recently, and another side that gets added to that list is Moana Pasifika. But the next game, like I mentioned, in about 40 minutes' time, is going to be the game between the Rebels and the Chiefs. We are going to be covering that one on the channel, so if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all for the next one.